Hey y'all, I had to jump on social media to talk about this article that a lot of people are seeing and saying, great, let's go back to paper and pencil. And I want to talk about why that is the wrong answer. The right answer is actually using technology in the right way. So technology opens so many doors for our students. And before you think that I grew up with an iPad in my hands in a one-to-one environment, that is not the case. I grew up in a paper pencil classroom where we had computer labs for things like number crunchers and where in the world is Carmen Sandiego. So I did not grow up in any sort of a one-to-one environment. And in those classrooms that I grew up in, students who had special needs and needed something read aloud to them had to wait their turn for someone to be able to do that. And students who spoke a different language had to cross their fingers that there was a translator there to help them out that day. And students who maybe had a vision impairment had no way to really engage with the content other than through having someone else, again, like reading it to them. They didn't have anything to make the font of this paper printed thing bigger for them or a different style that would support their learning needs. Students who were struggling with reading had nothing to level that reading down to them so that they could learn it at their level and then slowly scaffold so that they can continue to learn to read better as well. The teachers in those classrooms, they wish for things like a classroom set of digital cameras or camcorders. And if you had told them that they were going to be given a class set of camcorders, cameras, this fancy tablet that has all the art materials in every single color, and dictionaries that can look things up in 2 seconds, and thesauruses, and all of these things, translators, everything, they would have thought that they had won the lottery or that you were some kind of wizard, because it was just so impossible to think about that. And those teachers would have ditched that paper in a heartbeat to jump in and do those creative projects. And so really, we need to do them some justice, and we need to use technology in the right ways, because what we're doing with technology right now isn't really the best way of utilizing it. So the problem really is that when too many schools implemented technology, they did it without really the leadership and the scaffolded PD to support meaningful integration and get it up and running. And that's through no one's fault. It was this new shiny thing, and no one really knew what was going to be the best way to use it. And so everyone was just kind of trying things out and seeing what worked. And so what ended up happening is because we didn't focus on the meaningful integration of technology, we started just kind of using it the same way we were using paper. And because of that, it seems super easy and reasonable to go right back to paper, when really it takes away tons of accessibility tools that our students, and I mean all students, need for learning. And also it takes away the creativity that this generation needs and thrives on. Students really need less typing for typing's sake. They need less clicking the bubble for the right answer. They need more opportunities for voice, choice, and creativity in their work. And instead of saying everyone complete this identical worksheet with nearly identical answers so that when your teacher grades it, they all look identical to each other, they need teachers who at the end of their amazing lessons say, show me what you learned, and let the kids decide how. Maybe they'll still write. Maybe they'll record a podcast or write a song. Maybe they'll make a video or create an interactive collage, and so much more. There's so many amazing things that our students are capable of if we stop asking them to fill in the blanks. And I know that handwriting is also a really great thing for making things stick in your brain. Like, it's a very sticky way of working in a classroom. So yes, I agree. And what we should do is we should be using a stylus then with our technology, because then students can still have that experience, and they can also benefit from proven research-backed strategies like sketchnoting, which has proven to really significantly impact how students learn and retain information. So yes, let's do that handwriting, and let's do it on the technology with all of these other amazing tools so they can really bring it all together in one place. A lot of kids also don't express themselves best in writing, or they simply don't like it. I've had kids, and I know every teacher probably has this situation, students who will just bolt out of the classroom or have a behavior issue so that they can be sent out of the classroom to avoid writing or to avoid that like homework handwritten thing. A lot of kids, that's like not their favorite way to communicate. They would rather tell you about it, right? And then we take writing and we ask students to do it all day, every day, in every class. In social studies, in science, in all the places, on top of writing in ELA classes where we really do need them to be doing it, right? Like they need to write in ELA. Let's let them do it there so they can actually enjoy it when they have to do their writing, right? And then let's give them other opportunities in other classes. We wonder why students disengage when we know that that's not how everyone likes to communicate. So if we go from, doing this writing everywhere to giving them more opportunities to shine in other places, I think really we're going to see kids get more engaged in classrooms. When you think about school, we go from elementary school where kids are laughing and learning and creating and doing fun projects all together to middle school where it's pretty strictly writing. I mean, you're getting to like 75% of what kids are doing is probably written or writing based. And then you get to high school and it's probably even more. We get to that point where really the only classes that are not centered on just writing answers to things or filling out this discussion post, we get to the point where the only classes where that's not happening are like Phy Ed, art, music, family and consumer ed, tech ed. And if you talk to kids about what they love about school, it's those classes. It's the classes where they are doing more than just that writing all the time. And so it's really important to bring some of that into the other classes, because what it's going to do is it's going to start to get our kids to engage in school more and to have a chance to show the skills that they are good at and that they enjoy using to communicate their thoughts, their ideas, and the things that they've learned about in the real world, right? And so really, when we bring creativity and collaboration and give students a chance to actually shine with what they're good at, they will feel connected. And when we give them those daily simple tasks like record a 30-second reflection on what you did today, they build confidence in public speaking. And little by little, they work toward the confidence to do bigger things and to do better things. And they can't AI their way out of it if that's what you're so worried about. If you are going back to paper and pencil because of AI, wrong choice. Make your lessons more creative and use AI in the process. Your kids are going to need to use AI in the future. So let's make sure that we're giving them the right ways of doing it. So it's not just for cheating, but it's learning how to work with it and not use it to do all of your work for you. So when you see technology and when it's used meaningfully, what happens, you would never want to rip it away from students who thrive on it. And if your concern is that they'll cheat because of AI, stop giving those strictly written assignments. AI is so good at that. Have them make a movie, a podcast, an augmented reality experience, or something else that truly shows what they know. And they might use AI in that process. In fact, I would encourage them to do it. Have the AI write a script, but the students still have to know it well enough to talk through it, and they'll build those soft skills. They'll build collaboration, communication, and these are skills that the business world is in desperate search for. So we want to make sure that we give kids those skills that are going to help them be human in an ever technological world, right? We have to stand out at what our technology isn't going to do well, and that's being human. And so we got to build those human skills while using our technology, being ready to work with it, and having these really great opportunities for students to express themselves and be creative and collaborative. And also, we're in a world right now where AI is embraced for its efficiency, where applicants for jobs who use AI are more likely to get hired than applicants who don't, where employees who use AI are more likely to get promoted than not. And so we want to make sure that our kids are ready to enter that workforce and be those ones that get hired and are ready to rock and roll, and also have that human skill to balance out the technology skills. Our kids don't live in the world that we lived in and the one that we grew up in. And parts of that make me so sad. I wish that there are ways that they could go back to my childhood. I agree that they need less doom scrolling. They need less time on social media. They need more face-to-face time with their phones put away. And at home and in recreational times, when they're out at the basketball game, when they're in the car, they need to have more conversations and less doom scrolling and just hanging out on social media. They need less consuming technology, just sitting and staring and consuming that technology. And they need less collaborative docs. They need more creating with technology. They need more collaborating in real life with their peers, not in an online document, in real life with their peers. And working on projects together, like videos or dioramas or debates, whatever you can imagine. Let them do those things so that they collaborate in real life on really meaningful work that they're going to feel excited about. They need to come together and create work that has meaning and work that brings their talents to the table. And at school, they really need to use tech to do the things that would have wowed our paper pencil teachers. The things that they only dreamed were possible. And yes, paper is still important, and they need to use it for simple planning sheets for projects. They need to use it when it makes sense, right? There are times when it's just the right answer. And of course, in art classes, right? I'm a former art teacher. I'm not ever going to say completely get rid of paper. Paper doesn't need to go completely away, but neither does technology. That's the wrong answer. It's all about balance, like everything. And using tech meaningfully instead of as a constant scrolling distraction from the real world will help us to see the amazing things that are happening around us and maybe even document them to share with others. So again, taking away the technology is the wrong choice. Stick with the technology, use it the right ways, and in this example, if you're using a tool that doesn't have those accessibility features built in, maybe choose a different tool, because there are tools like iPads that have all the accessibility features built in, all the creativity at no extra cost. So yes, the device itself might be a little more expensive, but it comes with all the things that your students need to be successful, from your students who have a special education need, to your students who are super creative, to all students who want to use technology to express their voice. So think about that as well. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. It's not like me to do this, but trust me, I am someone who came out of an art classroom for 13 years. I'm a technology integration specialist, and I've been working with technology with students for years. I promise you, when you use it the right way, you don't have to lock kids into the app you're using. You don't have to do all of those things, because your kids will engage with the content when they're given the choice to use their voice. So let me know what you think. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.